Welcome to the Business Spotlight. Today we're joined by Ben Hancock. He's the MD of Oscar Acoustics, a family-run business with over 20 years of experience. Ben, I'm really excited to dive into your journey and to learn a little bit about some lessons in business. So tell us a little bit more about what exactly is that you do and a bit of the background of the business.
Okay, yeah, thanks very much for speaking to me. So, yes, as you mentioned, managing director, the company was started by my father about 47 years ago. So I've been with the company for 20 years. We specialize in acoustic decorative finishes for buildings. So we make reverberant spaces nice to be in. So if you've ever been in a restaurant, for instance, where you're struggling to hear your friends over the table, if you spray our stuff on, everything becomes crystal clear. So it's used in offices, restaurants, film studios, just about everything, really.
Brilliant. And what's this business journey been like for you to date?
It's been interesting. So I started with the company in a company development role, and not long after I started, back then we had two spray teams, and both of our sprayers left within a short space of each other, and there were three of us, and we had to learn how to spray ourselves pretty quick without the training from them. So that was really interesting. It meant that I was on the tools and I got to learn the business inside out from that side of it. I then moved. I was spraying my own jobs, and I was actually running other jobs on the phone whilst I'm spraying those jobs. Then I went mainly into project management, and that ended up being going into sales as well, which led into, I then ended up in marketing. I've done pretty much every single role in the business. So now as managing director, it's great. I've kind of done it all. And actually it's really nice if I go on site and we've got quite a difficult job, our spray teams might try to put the wool over my eyes and say, oh, well, you can't do it because it's really difficult because of that. It's nice to be able to jump up on the scaffold, Terence, and say, come on, this is how you do it. And you get a bit of respect from the guys, I think, there.
Oh, brilliant. Ben, what would you say is some of the biggest lessons you've learned being in business for so many years?
Yeah, so I think that the biggest lesson is to always keep an open mind as to why an employee might be behaving the way they are. Robin Williams, he was quoted as saying, everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. So if you jump into a situation thinking you know it all, you're probably going to get it wrong. We had a situation that years back, we were bringing a guy in. We thought we might be parting ways with him to begin with, and he was just losing his temper all the time on site. And when I brought him in and started having a chat with him, he started to open up a bit. And it turned out that a few weeks after he'd started with us, he was kicked out of his flat he was living in, and he was actually living in his car. So it kind of explained why he was losing his temper a bit. So, knowing that, we can then help him out. So we put him in a hotel for the weekends, and then we were trying to send him on away jobs, so the hotels were already sorted for him, and he become a good guy. So it was a nice story. Had I jumped to a conclusion, not the best thing to do.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good story there, and a very valuable lesson there. Thanks for sharing that, Ben. Biggest hurdle that you've overcome, and what did you learn from that?
Right. So I suppose it's in the growth really of the company. So we had this again. This was years back, and we've learned from that and do things very different now. So we could see a huge amount of work coming our way, and normally we like to train from the bottom upwards, so that way everyone knows the job inside out. Now, we didn't quite have time for that because construction doesn't give you much notice quite often. So what we decided to do was look for qualified supervisors that could do the role, and then we gave them some intense spray training because our sprayers are the team leaders and supervisors as well. So we trained them up, and then we put them out on site. Now these guys, because they didn't know the rest of the work, the finishing of the product, and even know how to load the machine, they got no respect from the other guys that were working underneath them. And actually these guys also behave like divas as well. They swanned onto site, you know, I'm in charge, you do what I say. And it didn't end very nicely. We got through that work, and we turned out good work, but caused a little bit of tension. So we've changed the way we do things now. We have a new training facility where we are now. We're in a new building, which I'll probably come on to a bit later, but we've got a dedicated classroom so they can do all the theory work and exams, and also we've got a top secret practical spray training facility as well. So actually we're able to take people who maybe even didn't have a trade before, and then put them into a well-paid job, train them up and bring them through as team leaders into extremely well-paid jobs. So that's nice to be able to do that as well.
Oh no, I absolutely love that. And you know, having such an impact, but coming from a big hurdle and lesson that you had to learn in business. So yeah, fantastic. What advice would you give to someone starting out in business?
I would say prove to your clients you can be trusted. If your clients make mistakes, don't play the short game and be opportunistic. You know, just remember that if you look after a customer, they could become a customer for life. So again, an example I would give there, we were spraying Rolls-Royce headquarters, and the company we were working for ordered the wrong color, and nobody clocked it until we'd finished the work. I think we sprayed it in maybe light gray, and actually they were meant to order white. So instead of charging them exactly the same again, it just didn't feel right. So we did it at cost. So we oversprayed it. He was super happy. And then actually about 3 weeks later, the client then changed their mind on the color and decided, you know what, I think we want black. So actually it was a complete waste of time. But that customer, I think that was maybe 15 years ago. You know, they're still a very, very good customer. So they know they can trust us.
Yeah. Yeah, and that, you know, that you will fix, you know, if there's anything not right. So yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. What was your experience like stepping into a role of MD in a family business? So family businesses can often be very interesting. Any key lessons along the way as you transitioned into the role of MD?
Right. So I was unbelievably lucky. My father and we get on super well. And actually, when I was joining the company originally 20 years ago, I wasn't actually sure that I wanted to do it because I didn't want to ruin the relationship we had. It turned out that it's just been the perfect relationship between us both. And I think in 20 years, we maybe argued once, which isn't too bad. We disagreed on the way we should do things, but never any arguments. as we were approaching, it's 2017, I took over as managing director officially. I was taking more and more work off of him and doing more things my way, I suppose. And also having owned the company or in charge of the company for 47 years, I think he was a little bit reluctant to let go. You know, it's quite a difficult thing for him to do. He decided what he would do is leave me to it and then work from home, reading and agreeing contracts. And that would have been a part-time role at the time. We then really put our foot down on the marketing, and the workload increased so much that his part-time role of reviewing contracts became very much a full-time role, and an extremely stressful one at that. And so we had to then make changes to try and take that off of him so he could actually enjoy being semi-retired.
Wow, excellent. It's wonderful that you have such a good relationship, because you know it can in some businesses actually cause a lot of thrift between family members.
It can do, and actually my sister, she works for the company as well, so she's in marketing, and she works very closely with me because I'm very involved in the marketing side as well. And actually, we get on so well. It's nice having a relationship with a family member as well. You know, if she keeps me straight and honest. You know, she doesn't she brings you down to with a crash when you need it. So it's good.
Yeah. I want to ask a follow-up on that. So what are some of the benefits and challenges of running a family business?
Benefits. Sounds a bit cheesy. I get to spend a lot of time with my sister and my dad. That's nice. When we're at family gatherings, we get told to stop talking about work. So that's one of the downsides, I suppose. It's the trust you have. You know, you can completely trust them with absolutely everything. And it's nice to be able to bounce ideas off them. Actually saying that, we're really lucky. We've got such a superb team. Not only in the office, we all get on really well. It's almost like it sounds a bit cheesy. It almost sounds like a bit of a family anyway. But our spray teams as well, everyone gets on really well. We've got a real good, solid team now. So when we have the Christmas parties, we've got this new place. We're able to have all our staff and all their partners as well, and you know, amazing food. And we've got a dance floor in the middle of the office with a permanent disco ball in the middle. We had the DJ box there as well. We've got such an amazing sound system in the office as well. And me and one of our sprayers DJ'd for all the staff. It was great fun. Everyone gets on really well.
Oh, I just love it. So it sounds quite amazing. So tell us a bit more about the new building. I think I mentioned, you know, that's how I wanted to interview. I drive past it when I go to clients, and it looks really impressive. So yeah,
Right.
how did that come about?
Thank you. Yes, so we were outgrowing our premises, and the turnover was just going up and up and up. We needed more storage for more product. And we were looking for about 6 years, I think, because we wanted to actually buy a place, and looking for a suitable place. It just wasn't happening. So I think I spoke to the Minister for Business, and they put me in touch with what were they called? They put me in touch with a company that helps you find land, and found this piece of land and said, would you be interested? And so naively, I thought, right, let's go for it. We can build from scratch a building that works for us. And I say naively because I had absolutely no idea until we started building that it would be almost a full-time job for me. Partly that's my fault, because I studied architecture with a friend of mine, and we were actually sharing the driving each morning going to the course, and we got back together to design this place. He's Richard Barron from Urban and Rural. That was really exciting. So the pair of us are bouncing off each other. And then when it actually came to building it, I was specifying all the products myself, even doing the interior design. And it did become a full-time job almost. And whilst also trying to juggle all the legal side that I had absolutely no idea about, having never done it before. So I'm trying to get my head around all that at the same time. So it was quite challenging. The building itself is such an incredible place to work. It's been featured in sort of the RIBA Journal, the Royal Institute of British Architects Journal, and Architecture Today, and so many publications. It was awarded the Green Plaque Award, which puts it in the top 0.3% of the most environmentally friendly buildings in the UK as well. Really important to us, because as a business, that's pretty much what we're all about. So our spray products are made from recycled paper. So they tick absolutely every single box when it comes to sustainability. So the building was just as important. And the building itself is designed not only as a place that our employees are going to enjoy coming to work, it's also a show home for all of our products as well. So we invite our clients to come and have a tour of the building. Coffee's great as well, by the way, if anyone's thinking of coming. And they can actually see all our finishes in situ. Works really well.
Sounds absolutely fantastic. Yeah, we might have to come over for a coffee then.
Definitely, yes.
Ben, what is the key to success for you?
Key to success. There's a big question. So we pick a niche and focus on it. So we started off, we were an engineering company originally, and actually there's quite a lot of competition in engineering. We were making acoustic enclosures and machine safety guarding. Then about 25, 26 years ago, something like that, we then started having a go at these acoustic sprays. There was nothing like it in the UK at the time. So we plugged away at it, and we were doing, the odd scout hall or village hall here and there, then the odd school classroom. And we plugged away at it because in construction at the time, nobody really wanted to use products that they didn't know anything about. They were quite rigid in using everything they knew worked beforehand. So we just pushed and marketed in the correct ways. We were quite careful how, with our limited budget, we're a small company, so we had a limited budget. So I had to be very careful and targeted in our marketing spend, and it worked. And we, just grew and grew steadily. In recent years, it's not been quite so steady. I think we were growing about a third a year until last year. Last year, there was a bit of a dip, and I think it was no surprise to learn that we were in recession at the start of the year. I think the commercial building sector really took a bit of a hit. But we had a strong end to the year. And then this year, my God, it just seems to have gone crazy. I think at the moment, we're looking like it's going to be at least 4 times last year's turnover. So I go back to the training. We're having to put things in place now, knowing it's all coming. And this new training facility is really helping us with that.
Brilliant. Such a great golden nugget you're sharing there. Thanks for that, Ben. Best piece of advice you've been given that you can pay forward to others in business?
That's a piece of advice. There you go. I suppose I'd slightly touched on it earlier, but it was, so we've got, right. So when I started, I'm working for my father, and he's a very good man, and the whole family's got very strong morals. And so we've actually taken that through into business, and we've kind of got a thing that we say is always do the right thing. So if you always do the right thing, some people are going to take advantage of you along the way, but your clients just learn that you're going to do the right thing. Be a good person is my advice there.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Best book that you can recommend, or a podcast you're listening to, or yeah, something that you can.
Yeah, so there's a great book by Chris Voss. It's called Never Split the Difference, and it's all about negotiating. He was an ex, was it CIA or FBI negotiator? I think he was actually trying to talk people out of banks without murdering the hostages. And so they developed this incredible way of negotiating. And I think he actually went into the Harvard Business School of negotiating, or that department. And on the first day, he managed to negotiate in a way that blew everyone away. And so he's written this incredible book that gives you tips on how to negotiate properly, but it's laced as well with his experiences and all the situations he's been in. It's really gripping, really interesting.
Yeah, that's a brilliant book, and I'm glad you shared that. So definitely want to add to the reading list. Excellent. If you could improve one area of the business right now, what would it be?
It's going pretty well, but it would be, I mean, if I could wave a magic wand, it would be nice to be able to clone our spray teams already trained. We've got so much work coming up, and we're trying to employ at quite a rate, and to get good people that will fit in and not change the dynamic is very difficult. We've taken on, I think, 13 people in the last 3 or 4 weeks, and when your company is only 50 people, these new people are potentially going to make a big difference to the atmosphere. So you have to be very, very careful who you bring in. It would be nice to be able to train them even faster, but you can only go so fast. So you do have to try and look ahead all the time.
Yeah, oh, no, that's fantastic. And I think something that many business owners can resonate with as a challenge, finding good talent that fits with the values of the business. So yeah, really, really good there. This has been fantastic, Ben. Thank you so much for coming on to the spotlight today,
Thank you.
and really appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. Thank you.